snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Foles, touchdown.
Here he goes. It's Hester. Inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown.
Fields stumbling, trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown!
Hurts on first down, fires downfield. It's Deshaun Jackson back in the lineup. This is the last 7 games, and he will take it 81 yards. A somersault into the end zone. His first touchdown of the season.
You're listening to The Pigskin Project, the world's #1 football podcast. Now, with more insights on all things football, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen and Ryan Matthews.
And Matt. Because
Yeah,
there's 3 of us. Guys, I'm feeling good tonight. I'm going to be honest with you. I got some good sleep last week. If you remember, Ben wasn't here, but now he is, and that's cool. And I had a cold last week, and I'm slowly getting over that. I'm still a little congested. My ears are doing a weird thing where it's kind of popping. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate
You look
it.
good today.
Thanks, boo.
You always do.
Anyways. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling good. Got a lot of energy for this one. This is going to be a good show. We got a lot planned for this one. But starting off, Ben, welcome back. How you feeling, man? You've had a long day, huh?
Brother, yeah, no, long day. So these guys know so obviously, as I presume everyone who's watching knows, student at IU, live in Bloomington, blah, 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 blah. I had to drive all the way down to Paducah, Kentucky. What's in Paducah, Kentucky? I have no clue. But I had some business to handle in Paducah, Kentucky. I was looking at a house for my sister. That's like a 4.5-hour drive. I looked at the house for them for like 30 minutes and then drove 4.5 hours back up in the same day. So I've been on the road for 9 hours. Major finals were yesterday. I still have to write papers today, but pretty much everything is submitted outside of really, really small thing. So we're feeling good. We're feeling like the break is well needed. And for those who are wondering, no podcasts next week. I'm assuming everyone probably wouldn't even been watching. For those who don't know why or hasn't clicked yet, exactly a week from the live recording of the podcast is Christmas. So happy holidays to everyone. It is crazy. It's really flown by. But Matt, how are you doing?
How am I doing? I'm doing fantastic. Yeah, I mean, that's why I was confused about your finals, because my finals ended Wednesday last week. So I've been
push
breaking
back
it
a
up.
week later from everyone. It's awful.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. So I've been breaking it up. Went in our local town, went and saw the big Christmas tree downtown today. That was pretty fun, but overall, just I'm ready. Ready to talk some ball.
Amen to that.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and get into weekly review because we got a lot to talk about this week. So starting off with the Rams and Niners, I mean, nobody scored a touchdown. Bit of a snooze fest, if I do say so myself. I think I fell asleep and then woke up and the score was still the same. And I was like, okay, didn't miss anything. So we got a little bit about this one. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, man. It's the Brock Purdy conversation. And I did research after the game, and the way their money situation is that Brock Purdy has one more year of like 1 million static, and then his contract would kick in. He wouldn't have a 5th-year option like a first-round quarterback. It doesn't feel like to me that the Niners are going to commit $60 million to him, and he's going to want $60 million. So it raises the question, because we look at this offseason as a whole, the 2021 guys are not getting paid. Like Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Trey Lance. Lawrence was the only one getting paid at that class. 2022, Purdy's class, they're not getting paid. Pickett, Willis, Matt Corral, my guy, but like it's Purdy's the only guy, and we might go in offseason with no quarterback extensions because I don't think the Niners are going to commit long term to him, and they have to at the $60 million price point. Would you guys disagree with that?
I don't. Well, I think they have to commit to him, but I don't think it has to be at the $60 million price point. Like I would assume that Purdy is at least aware enough to recognize that the situation he is in is because he's not making a lot of money, and not that he's going to sign a contract where he's only making $1 million a year or whatnot. I think he's going to get paid, but I think the Niners would be stupid to offer him $60 million, but I don't think he's going to look for $60 million. I think he recognizes that the reason this team is good is because they can spend money elsewhere. And I think he will probably go the Tom Brady route and maybe 20 or 30 million, which is still going to be hurtful, but not as bad as 60 million. But yeah, I think they're going to wait. I don't think they'll do it this offseason. It makes no sense. You want to keep as much cap flexibility as you can to make a push one final year while he's still under that rookie contract.
My follow-up
Yeah.
would be, do you think there's someone out there who would do it? Do you think there's a team? Because like Atlanta with Kirk, they were willing to do it. And we'll talk about Kirk. But just from a point of paying his price, there was a team for him. Do you think there is a team to pay Purdy that money, especially another year down the line? Say he goes off this year, 1-year contract, they franchise tag him and they trade him, and then he gets the contract. Is there a team that would do $60 million?
Looking at the draft order right now, I think, Vegas right now sitting at 1 who needs a quarterback, Giants at 2 that needs a quarterback. I think Purdy is more attractive of a quarterback. Free agent signing potentially than like a Justin Fields. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like the premier or one of the premier quarterbacks on the market, going into the free agency. So, you got to really think about who's in this class, who's in, free agency, and then whether or not Brock Purdy is going to be, the guy that leads this free agent, class, and whether or not, does a team sign him to, that short-term deal as well? Or is it something that Brock Purdy's going to want to get, locked down for a long amount of time? And I think that it's going to be something that he's absolutely going to want, long-term. I'm trying to pull up.
It would just, from Purdy's perspective, he's looking around to his left and his right, and he's seeing Trent Williams get paid. He's seeing Ayuk get paid. He's seeing Christian McCaffrey get paid. Diamador Lenore got paid. Everyone is getting paid, and now my bill is coming due as a quarterback, and you guys aren't gonna, pay up. That's where it gets. It's going to be an interesting training camp period, because Ayuk and Trent, remember, they held out because they could pay the fines. Brock Purdy's making $1 million a year. He can't really hold out necessarily without paying majority of his contract, it feels like. So it's just a fascinating argument. I think we're still a year away from it being talked about, but from right now, I feel like going into the offseason, I was just marking in ink. He's going to get paid this offseason. Yada, yada, yada. The Niners are going to keep going down this. But now, 6-8.
It's a little fishy.
Last in the division. I don't know. I think the Niners are going to stay away.
So a couple things. I think there probably is a team that is out there that is willing to pay him close to that $60 million mark. But again, I would like to think that he is, and this is coming from an Eagles fan, I would like to think that he's smart enough to even look a few states over at even Dallas and see how the $60 million cap hit there for a quarterback that they overpaid on affected the team. And I'd like for him, I'd like to think he'd be like, okay, I want to get money, but $60 million is that's going to hamstring my team. And I think he's smart enough to recognize that he wants money, but money isn't everything, and Super Bowls matter more. And the 49ers, at least as of right now, for the teams that need a quarterback, offer him the best ability to go and do that.
Yeah. obviously, like Matt said, these are talks that are going to continue probably through the offseason as well. Until it, inevitably either happens or doesn't. So I'm sure that we'll talk about this at a later time. So let's go ahead and move on just a little bit. Cowboys beat the Panthers 30-14. Panthers just kind of looked like the Panthers there. Not really an impressive showing either way. Chiefs beat the Browns 21-7. Now this one showed Patrick Mahomes suffering a high ankle sprain, which leaves him week to week with that injury. Honestly, I'll leave this as well. Jameis Winston also got benched for DTR, so going into this week, DTR is going to be starting.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Do you guys think, because me personally, I do you think the Chiefs should just shut down Mahomes for the rest of the season until the playoffs because they already clinched the playoff spot, or do you think that they should go ahead and keep competing for that, 1 seed because they're in it right now?
I think at least shut him down for the game. Like I don't think obviously it's a big matchup considering it's another AFC team, but obviously the Texans are not pushing for it, and it comes down to the Bills do own the head-to-head, so in the seeding they're in front of him. But is the risk of him getting injured even more worth the risk of not having number 1 seed? And I say no. I think if you get him as healthy as he can get into the playoffs, and we've seen what the Chiefs can do when relatively healthy in the playoffs, first seed or not. But I mean, there's a chance that they roll him out here and he gets hurt again and will miss the rest of the playoffs. And then Carson Wentz has the chance to do one of the funniest things in NFL history, but that's besides the point.
I mean, looking at week 18 as well, Chiefs play the Broncos. And I mean, we all know Chiefs play the Steelers on Christmas as well. So, I mean, let's say hypothetically they shut Patrick Mahomes down for the next 2 games. That leaves the Bills like they would have to win the next 2 games to be able to be in that final 1 seed, and then the Chiefs can play Mahomes in week 18 against the Broncos and pray that the Bills lose, which their week 18 schedule would be against the Patriots, which just wouldn't happen. Yeah. So at that point, I mean, if you sit Mahomes, then at that point you're you could be sacrificing that 1 seed. But are you sacrificing the 1 seed over your quarterback or your quarterback over your 1 seed? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you care about the most is my question. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, they got to go 2-1 in the stretch. They're one of the teams, I mentioned it last week, they play 3 games in 10 days, or 4 teams, because I know you mentioned the Bears. But they need to pick and choose which game he plays, either the one in Pittsburgh on Christmas or this one against Houston, because if you split this 1-1, then you're getting however many days from Christmas to the next game against Denver, which is like 11 days or whatever, instead of 10 days for Thursday. That's what I think. I think you got to pick and choose which one he plays, because, I mean, he's not up for any discussion for trophies. It's not like it's an MVP situation, like, oh, I'm going to tank my MVP stock. Like, he's not winning the award, but you need to stay ahead of Buffalo. You need to have that home field advantage against Buffalo, in my opinion. And I don't want to tank these next 2 games to do that.
You guys have swayed it, just a little bit for me in terms of my opinion. I think, just as Ben said, you sit them this week, hopefully play them next week against the Steelers at Christmas. Not just for, the Chiefs' sake, but for my sake, because I want to see Patrick Mahomes play against this Steelers defense that's been pretty decent. Next up, Texans beat the Dolphins 20-12. Again, I didn't really watch this one. I'll be honest with you, not really too much. I mean, cool, I guess. Good for the Texans.
Man. 2 is rough.
2 is rough, and Mike McDaniels as well.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. It's murky.
They've hit the plateau. Miami.
Yeah. Jets beat the Jaguars 32-25. Holy crap! It took that much for the Jets to win a game. And I'm laughing at this, by the way, just because screw Aaron Rodgers. Commanders beat the Saints 20-19. Your boy Ritter had a couple, moments there. Matt, you want to tell us about that?
Yes, Spencer Rattler was awesome. He came in.
Rattler,
he played the entire
Ritter,
second
whatever.
half.
Sorry.
He played the entire second half, and he played 4 drives, and every single drive ended with points and went over 50 yards. Jake Haener crossed the 50-yard line 1 play in the first half. There's the difference. Spencer Rattler gives you the explosive playability. Jake Haener does not. He gives you brutal efficiency, and in an offense with MVS and Kevin Austin Jr., you're not going to rely on efficiency. Kamara left early in this game, so he did it without Kamara. He did those last 3 drives without Kamara. He comes up short, ties the game. They go for 2 to win it, and it goes through the hands of Juwan Johnson. And you just throw your hands up and you go, it is what it is. This is a lost season anyway. This is not a season you're competing for the division. Yada, yada. Keep that draft position at 10 is kind of the way I'm thinking. But it gives you the avenue of Rattler the last 3 games. If he performs something, maybe he's your starter in 2025. Maybe you cut Derek Carr and you really reset this cap. I don't think it's going to happen. Wishful thinking, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun to be.
I want to say this really quick
I like
as
the
well.
cojones to go for it on 2 and not just taking it.
No, as soon as it was scored, I went, Rizzy's going for 2. He's
yeah.
I want to just add, because I just realized this, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later for those of you that are interested, but I do think that it's interesting how, Matt and I behind the scenes have kind of, in our group chat between the 3 of us, have kind of looked at each other and said, who's got it worse than us, right, when it comes to Bears and Saints. And Ben's got Super Bowl aspirations with his Eagles as well. Fingers crossed for you, buddy. But then you look at college football, and it's the exact opposite, right? I mean, now Ben won his championship.
I'm not upset with Michigan's. I'm not upset with Michigan's. I mean, it was a down year. You expected it to be down year. Bryce Young, future Heisman winner. I mean, anyways.
There's an asterisk next to the championship. Nobody. Yeah, but I'm just saying. It's gonna be. Anyways. Yeah, it's all right. We made the playoffs. Anyways, yeah. It's interesting. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Ravens beat the Giants 35-14 in an expected blowout. 37-27 between the Bengals and the Titans as well. I read that backwards. Super weird. Bengals won. But embarrassing, according to Joe Burrow. That was a fun clip to watch.
And Brian Callahan today.
Yeah.
Everybody see that one?
Go ahead and explain it, just in case.
A reporter called his team soft, and he used language that I should not use on this PG pod. Mm-hmm. He called it complete and utter BS. And he told the reporter to shove it up as you-know-what at the end of it.
Keister. Yeah.
No, he's right, man. He's right. These
the
reporters,
big thing, too...
You go.
No. You finish your thought.
No, I mean, reporters can just type on a doc and say, this team is soft, this team is soft. The Titans fight. I'll give them that. They're fighting for their coach, and for him to come out and say that was very impressive because there's a guy in Chicago who would not have done that. So I give him props for that.
Ben?
The big thing from this game, though, is as well as Will Levis played after being benched the first time, it ended in this game. He had 3 interceptions in 89 yards. Mason came in. I'm interested to see now, and again, it's a conversation that we'll spend more time in depth on in the offseason. I'm interested to see now where they go in the draft. Because they're going to be picking in the middle round. I guess not. I guess they're a top 5-ish pick. Do you spend a top 5 pick on a quarterback, or do you spend a top 5 pick on someone you have graded higher at another position and maybe run it back with Mason, or maybe go and sign Sam Darnold? I think the Will Levis stuff is done. As fun as it was, I think it's over.
Next up, Cardinals beat the Patriots 30-17. dude, Marvin Harrison Jr., only 2 catches on 7 targets. I mean, yikes for the kid.
He has not been what
it's been a down
I've
year.
expected. His contested catch percentage is in the bottom percentile of the league this year.
No, it's not fun. Bills beat the Lions in probably one of my most fun games to watch of the year. This was awesome. Josh Allen, Matt, you and I can both thank our lucky stars for Josh Allen when it comes to fantasy, because this man single-handedly kept us in the game. So props to the guy. At both weeks, by the way, he clinched my playoff spot last week.
In the last 2 weeks.
I mean, wow.
Hey, Jared Goff. Jared Goff moved me out of the next round.
Yeah. I mean, this was a saving grace for all 3 of us. I didn't even realize that.
And then Montgomery from this game. And, the Lions just as a whole, 22 players are on injured reserve. That's a whole roster. Or that's a whole starting lineup. That it's for a team that has Super Bowl aspirations to have this, punishment dealt. And it makes you think, did they play too hard for Dan Campbell? They're all getting hurt. I don't know. Just throwing it out there, but
it's legit players too. It's not like practice squad guys or if you took all of the players on their defense that got hurt, they could make a legit middle of the pack defense. They're actual good contributing players, and it sucks for them. I feel for them.
Yeah, and I mean, even as a Bears fan, I'm looking at this being like, wow, this is a Super Bowl team that is just getting decimated, and I mean, I'm rooting for them in a way because they're the Lions, but then I'm also rooting against them because I know Lions fans will get super obnoxious if they actually win something, so not fun. But Bills, by the way. This is the team that I'm going to be rooting for in the playoffs, because I think we've talked about this on the Pigskin Project before, that when sorry, Ben, no, screw Philly. No, absolutely not. No, here's the thing. When I don't have a team, if I don't have any skin in the game, and I think this is allowed when you have a team that sucks as much as mine.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
You get to pick a random team that you want to root for in the year. Josh Allen has done a lot of charity work, and he's just overall a great guy, and he's just playing out of his mind right now. And he was expected by me, I'll admit, hand up, that I preyed on the Bills' downfall in the offseason because they lost Stephon Diggs. So now that they're kind of underdogs in my mind, they're my playoff.
Oh, yeah. You owe me 2 drinks, too, because we bet on the Bills finishing at least a game and a half above the Bears in records, and we also bet on the Bears and we bet on the Bears going under 500. Actually, I think it was 9.5 actually for you. So
I'm looking at our drink bets. I said Bears make the playoffs, so I owe you 1. You took Bills plus a half a game on wins against the Bears, so I owe you 2. You owe me 1 drink because you took the Titans against the Bears and put a drink on it. And then our last one kind of voided. I think we mutually agreed on that because it was the Russell Wilson one. Yeah. So but anyways, so I owe you 1 drink. 1 drink. But anyways. Obviously I was gonna do that anyway when you came back up. But anyways, Buccaneers beat the Chargers 40-17. I mean, insane box score for a Harbaugh, team.
No, my thing too with the Bucs, and I'll keep it short because we'll have to see how the rest of the season plays out. But no team in the NFC wants to play that Bucs team. I'll tell you that right now. No team in the NFC in the playoffs will want to play that Bucs team. There are some teams that you see in the playoffs and you'd be like, okay, that's a matchup that I'd actually enjoy and would be comfortable with. The Bucs are not one of those teams. I would genuinely be scared if the Eagles played against them because the Bucs seem to be the Eagles' kryptonite, and the Bucs have beat the top 2 teams in the NFC in the Eagles and the Lions. It's scary stuff, man.
I mean, I don't know. It is. And it's something that I factored in as well as I was kind of looking at potential playoff matchups as well. When I'm looking at your Eagles and secretly, hoping the best for you, but rooting against you. You know what I mean? Kind of one of those
I don't
things.
think it's so secret.
Yeah, the thing is like one of these North teams, the Vikings or the Lions, are gonna win like 14 games. And their reward is gonna go, hey, you gotta go on the road against Tampa. And not if we're hand upping preseason takes, then I'll hand up. I said Derek Carr was on the same tier of Baker Mayfield on this podcast. Wrong. Talked with my heart. I was wrong. Baker is he is what he is, but what he is a fun freaking quarterback.
Slinger, man.
Grip it and rip it, stand in the pocket. I'm going to get hit. I'm going to make this throw, and he does it every single game. Just tough, gritty. He's gritty. But, yeah, man, I'm not going to root for them, but, hey, I'll give him his props.
Eagles beat the Steelers 27-13. Ben, how are you feeling about this one?
Dude, I felt great.
Is that what you wanted to see?
This is what I wanted to see. Like, the only touchdown the Steelers had the entire game was off, like, bad field position we gave them. So, like, the defense imposed on them, and then we talked about it in the group chat between three of us. Their ability
You're a little muffled. Sorry.
Just suffocate them in the second drive and just give them or in the second half and give them, like, no time. They held the ball for a whopping 6 minutes in the entire second half of the game. I think they had 2 drives. The Eagles got the ball on, like, yeah. The Eagles got Hurts and Cooper DeJean both fumbled on. That's besides the point. I think that had a lot to do with Hurts' finger, but that's, anyways. The Eagles had the ball on, like, their I think it was like their 9-yard line, and the Steelers did not see the ball the rest of the game, and there was 10 minutes left in the fourth. It's just lean on that offensive line, lean on that run game, especially in a game where Hurts in the passing offense was humming. It was just a combination of great defense and just the offense doing exactly what you would have wanted them to look like. Beautiful.
Packers beat the Seahawks 30-13. I mean, just an absolute curb stomp performance by the Packers. And Ben, you won these next 2 games. Not every team needs a white uniform. The Packers one looks horrible. Their actual jerseys themselves look like practice uniforms. They're disgusting.
Yes.
And then moving on to the next game, the Vikings beat the Bears 30-12 in their all white uniforms, which, by the way, I was expecting to look a lot better than they actually did, but it was so bland and so boring. I get the whole appeal for the whole white and silver, but where is the purple? You're the Vikings.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Put more purple in it.
Some teams can rock a cool white uniform, like the Bengals when they did it with like the snow Bengal and stuff. Awesome. And you know what? I'll give you the polar bear. I'll give you that because I kind of talked myself into it when we were chatting.
It sounds pretty cool.
This is what I'm like saying though, is like not just because some teams can pull it off doesn't mean every team should pull it off. Could you imagine the Eagles in an all white uniform? No.
I'm completely against this take. This is like one of your worst takes.
This is one of my best takes. Imagine, pause. Imagine the Eagles in an all-white uniform and tell me that would look good.
Every all-white uniform is the same exact thing.
Exactly, and that's why they don't need it.
With the accent of their main color. How can they be different in any way than all the other ones?
And that's why not every team needs it. We don't need that's the beauty of the NFL. It is the beauty of the colors.
Dude, you cannot tell me watching that game and seeing the whiteout crowd was not electric.
Let me say that.
It was the whiteout crowd is awesome, but the uniforms are bland and boring.
Do you guys remember the Color Rush uniforms that they did on like Thursday nights back in the day? See, this is the thing.
The Seahawks
not every one of them. Yeah. But not every one of them, cough, cough, Jaguars, was, like, good, right? This is the exact opposite of that, where every team, to me, looks good, with the exception of the Vikings and the Packers. They could have done such a better job. But anyways, like, I'm just saying, in these situations specifically, they just didn't pull it off, and I feel like it's not executed well enough. It could have been, absolutely. I don't think that you could like me or make me like a Packers uniform in general. So I'm biased.
Try to picture the Commanders in all white uniform. You can't. It would look ugly. It wouldn't look good.
Dude,
Gross.
that maroon would look sick. That maroon, and then
Jaden
like
Daniels
it's
in the
all white.
Come on, dude.
All white with a yellow W in the middle of it. Oh, dude, that looks sick.
Ew,
Anyways,
that sounds awful.
15-9 is the final score between the Falcons and the Raiders. Falcons taking home the W. Falcons look bad. And that'll do it for weekly review.
Next time.
Yeah. And then a couple extra notes. Cardinals and Budda Baker agreed to a 3-year contract extension. The Commanders are opening a 21-day practice window for Jonathan Allen as well. And then we will add on
Bryce Huff too.
Okay. Colorado.
Bryce Huff
yeah.
too.
What's the Bryce Huff news? I missed that.
Same thing as Jonathan Allen. They opened up his 21-day practice window off IR.
Oh, cool. There you go. So, all right, moving on to upset alert. Boys, I have 3 games this week for upset alert.
Yeah, it was hard for me to pick some. It seems pretty straightforward this week.
Yeah. I have Texans at Chiefs. Chiefs are minus 185. By the way, on DraftKings right now, the Texans are plus 3.5 underdogs. Take that. Take that right now. Take it. Stop what you're doing besides listening to this podcast and take it. Steelers at Ravens minus 285. That's my other one. I mean, the Steelers are tough. And if George Pickens comes back this week, which I'm not entirely sure if he will, but if he does, that'd be cool. Eagles minus 180 against the Commanders. I am throwing that one in there as well, strictly because it just feels like after watching last season, the Eagles are just due for a slip up. Mm-hmm. But that's just what I'm putting in there. As of right now, those are the only 3 matchups that I picked. Ben, did you have anything different?
Yeah, so I had those 3 that you said, which is funny that we're lockstep on that. And then I had the Titans and Colts game just because I could see this going either way. Like, I might be getting to the point where I'm like giving up on the whole Anthony Richardson stuff. Like, I really, really, really want Anthony Richardson to be good, but I just don't know if it's gonna happen, guys. I really don't know.
It's over. It's been over.
And yeah, so that's one of them. The Titans looked better when Mason was in the game. And then the other one was the Bucks and Cowboys. I could see the Cowboys in Jerry World. The Cowboys have been playing better, and I could see them pulling this out. I'm not saying they will, but I could see them pulling it out. So those are the other 2 I had.
Matt, did you have anything different?
Yeah, I only had 2. I had the Titans one. Fun little question. Fate of the universe on the line. Winning a playoff game, who would you rather take as a quarterback, Mason Rudolph or Anthony Richardson, right now?
I want Iguodala. I'm just kidding.
It's Mason Rudolph.
It's Mason. It is. Yeah.
And that was the thing. Anthony Richardson, he was just that was the big thing with me this year was, do you look different than you did in week 1? He doesn't. Mm-hmm. He's in territory of Tim Tebow and Achilles Smith in terms of completion percentage. He is all boom or bust. And there was a play against Pat Surtain where Surtain's playing the cloud and there's a drag over the middle. He takes 1 step forward to the drag and then bolts back to the corner route, and easiest interception of his life. And they were dying for explosives. They took it out of his hands to have A.D. Mitchell throw it back to him, and Nick Benito, the superstar that he is, just took over the game, scores a touchdown. And then the other one, Saints, plus 14.5. We're here.
Oh,
we're here.
God.
So
for them to cover, I like that.
Let's go ahead and do Pigskin Pick'em now. So last week, your boy's on a bit of a heater. I went 14-2. Ben, you went 11-5. Matt 6-10. So overall, our records are
booth review on that too.
Dude, that was a
What?
We
good
had
booth
to
review.
booth review that
I'll challenge that again.
on Matt.
I'll challenge that over and over.
I went back and listened, and you did say I'm not picking against my guy.
Yeah,
Herbo.
no, I know I did, but it was like I called them on the upset alert, and I don't normally call the upsets, and I thought I got it. I challenge it again. It was too close to call.
So for context for listeners, when I sent the records and what exactly happened, in our group chat, Matt was like, "Oh, I thought that I picked, what was it? Who did they play?"
I didn't pick a single winner in the 4 p.m. slate, dude.
You didn't. Yeah,
I didn't.
in fact,
I didn't. 5 games, 0-5.
yeah,
Uh,
and you missed the prime time as well because you picked the Seahawks.
Matt,
So,
I was
yeah.
pulling for you
So-
too. That's why I was like, we need to do winning percentage. But no,
Dude, I'm cooked.
So-
I'm cooked.
Yeah, looking at that, so I'm 152-70 at 68% correct on the season. Ben is 137-85, it's 61%, and then Matt is 58-45 at 56% for the year.
So
So,
just don't go 0-13. Stay over 500, kid.
so we're gonna go ahead and start. Broncos at Chargers Thursday night. I'm going Chargers. Ben, who you got?
yeah, I'm going Chargers, and then I want to talk about the next 2 slates of games after, but Chargers.
Matt.
Broncos. Bo Nix time. We're
Yeah.
betting against Justin Herbert this week.
This is when Herbo wins.
Absolutely.
Texans at Chiefs.
Hypothetical, man.
I'm going
Okay.
Texans. This is on a Saturday, by the way. Weirdest
Yeah,
thing ever.
This is what I wanted to talk about really quickly before we actually talk about the game. So this is on Saturday, and it's 12 o'clock and 4:30. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, but why do they not know what else is going on that day? That day is also college football playoffs, where we have 3 playoff games going on simultaneously, like at the same time of these games. Because we have SMU and Penn State at 12 and Clemson and Texas at 4. So we have 2 college football playoff games going on at the same time of these NFL games. It makes no sense that like this is when they picked to decide to start playing Saturday games. No one is going to be watching that. I mean, maybe the SMU and Penn State game because of Texans and Chiefs and who's watching SMU, but it just makes no sense. I have no clue why they would like start this week.
Talking down to the pony.
Stupid. Yeah. Texans though.
I just want to add, yeah. All right, and then Matt.
I think Mahomes plays. He's practiced in full the last 2 days. So I'm going to take the Chiefs.
I don't blame you. Yeah. Okay. And then Steelers at Ravens. The only reason why they're doing this is because they're playing on Christmas. These 4 teams literally, like, they'll swap and
Which
play
is
each other on
ridiculous.
Christmas.
We don't have to have NFL on Christmas. We don't. We're fine. We're not that starved
agree.
for football.
Yeah. People are going to
I
be
don't
watching
know.
basketball.
I'm not, at least.
Steelers at Ravens. I'm going Ravens. Ben, who you got?
Yeah, I'll go Ravens.
Yeah, this is the Lamar show. Ravens.
Now, fun stat for you guys for the Ravens. Lamar Jackson has not played the Steelers at home. Because
Really?
every single time that he's been healthy enough to play, they've benched him because it was
They've
at week
benched him
18 in
because
their
of the
playoff
Packers?
spot.
Yeah.
Yep. So they started
Ah.
Tyler Huntley, and if they didn't do that, then he was unhealthy to play. He has never
That's
played
fun.
the Steelers at home. Crazy. Giants at Falcons. I'm going Falcons. Don't like this game. Sorry for anybody that has to watch it, but
I'm watching this game for sure. No, I'm picking Falcons, but I'm watching this game to see the difference in the offense between Kirk and Penix. Because it's Penix this week. For those who don't know, they bench Kirk. It's Penix starting. And, like, I'm interested to see the splits with Penix under center versus, like, the under center snaps versus shotgun because it has been atrocious when it's been Kirk out there. Like, they are by far leading the league in under center snaps just because like, it's bad. It is bad. So I'm interested to see how the offense changes. And obviously, I'm going to be pulling for Penix. Go Hoosiers.
yeah. Matt?
Yeah, I'll take the Falcons.
Lions
Giants are
at Bears.
dead, dude.
They
They're a
are.
dead team.
Lions at Bears. Speaking of dead teams, I'm going with the Lions because I'm not picking my team for the rest of the year. So
Yeah.
I'll just fill you guys in. Just
Yeah.
Cardinals at Panthers. Picking the Cardinals. Ben?
Yeah, it pains me to do such, but I'll pick the Cardinals.
I'll pick the
Matt?
Panthers. And then you skipped over me. I'm picking the Lions.
I'm so sorry. Did I seriously? I am so. Oh no, I was filling you guys in.
No, yeah, he said he'll just fill us in both his Lions.
Yeah. Rams at Jets. I'm going Rams. Ben, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going Rams.
Matt.
Rams for the division.
Yeah.
I really quickly though to the Panthers point. I think it's funny that like the Panthers now started looking good, and this is like the first time in like 33 games that they were favored, and they just got like smacked. Like it just wasn't even a game, and that's what Vegas gets for favoring the Panthers in the game.
Some are saying Jerry Jones would rather have Cooper Rush than Dak Prescott. Not me. Some are saying.
Wonder why.
Cooper Rush,
Anyways,
winner.
Eagles at Commanders. I'm going Eagles. Ben.
No, I'll have Matt pick this first.
This is a rat line. This is the Eagles.
I'm going Commanders. It's worked every single time. It's worked every single time. I'm willing to take the loss in the column because I've accepted that I can't make a late season push to win the head-to-head pick'em this year like I did the last 2 years. And I'm willing to accept I can't make that late season push this year, and it's worked for me. I'm picking the Eagles. I'm willing to sacrifice the pick in the win column to ensure that the Eagles win this game. So Commanders.
All right. And then Browns at Bengals. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Bengals. Matt, who you got?
What'd you say? Someone texted me.
Bengals at Browns.
DTR, he looked pretty good. Didn't score any points. Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals. I love DTR. I'm gonna watch
Bengals
that
are
game
still
because
in the hunt. They're in the hunt.
I'm worried that this is the perfect time to talk about it, and we'll have the discussion when they're like when it's time to do the awards. But like I'm a little worried about Jamar Chase creeping up on my boy Saquon for that OPOY. I don't like it. Jamar needs to back off a little bit.
Titans at Colts. This is gross. I'm going with the Colts.
Titans.
Yeah. Titans, all right. Matt?
I'll take the Titans.
Vikings at Seahawks. I'm going Vikings. Ben?
Vikings.
Matt?
Yeah, do we know the status on Geno?
I don't think he's
clue.
playing.
But even if Geno's
Assuming
playing, the
no.
Vikings are winning.
Because I want to make an educated pick on the Seahawks if Geno plays, but if he doesn't play.
This report says the Seahawks have good news on Geno Smith.
Full participant
Okay.
in practice
So
today.
he's going to play. Vikings.
Thank you. Thank you.
Patriots at Bills. I'm just going to fill us all in here. Should be Bills across the
Drake
board.
May.
Hey, yeah, Drake. Don't slander Drake May. He's looking better than your quarterback,
They
Buckaroo.
cover the spread.
Yeah,
They don't
Bills.
win the game, though.
So
What did you just say to me?
Positive ROI, Patriots and Saints money line parlay it.
yeah,
I'm sorry. Wait a minute.
ROI.
My quarterback has the record for most consecutive passes without
Drake
an interception for a rookie.
May. I don't care. Good. Congratulations, you didn't throw an interception.
Did you see that Drake May shovel pass? Bet you didn't.
Drake May. Drake. We'll get into it at the end of the season, but Caleb is the fourth best rookie.
We'll get into it in the season.
Caleb is the fourth best rookie quarterback this year. besides the point.
Don't talk bad on my quarterback. All right. Anyways.
Wrong.
Wrong. Jaguars at Raiders. I'm going Raiders. Again, another disgusting matchup. Ben?
I'm going Jags.
Max Crosby out for the year, by the way.
Yeah, and is Sincere McCormick? Yeah. So, yeah.
UTSA undrafted rookie in 2022. That's the draft stuff. All right, another question. Fate of the universe, Mac Jones or Desmond Ridder? Some are saying game of the year. Taking the Jags.
Yeah, okay. I'm still riding with it. 49ers at Dolphins. I'm riding with 49ers.
I'm going Dolphins. I think the Dolphins have to fight. Like, if they want to make a push, they have to win this game. Dolphins.
Matt?
The Niners. They're embarrassed after scoring 6 points.
Yeah, they're going to take it out on the Fins. Buccaneers at Cowboys. Riding with the Bucks. Ben?
Yeah. Bucks.
Yeah, Bucks.
And then Saints at Packers. This will be hilarious. Yeah, I'm going Packers. Ben?
Packers, but Saints to cover.
Packers. But right. Rattler, dude. Ben. Come on.
If your audio listeners go to the live stream and check in at the 46-minute mark, it'll be good, I promise.
It's fun. Pigskin payout. I'm going to just kind of blow through mine. Now, here's the thing. I was a little disappointed with last week's payout because it didn't pay out. I gave you guys a parlay that lost by one leg, and overall, very sad. So I'm going to get you something that's going to make you money this week. I got Texans plus 3.5 at Chiefs at minus 110. Bengals minus 7.5 versus Browns at minus 112. Lions minus 6.5 against the Bears in Chicago at minus 110. And then take Josh Allen anytime touchdown scorer for minus 135. Your parlay odds are at plus 1,100. So $10 wins about 110. Pretty decent. I'd say take it. Take it now.
Yeah.
Ben?
I have Texans money line because I think the Texans are going to win, as I've previously stated. Texas money line at plus 148. Lions to cover 2.5, so the alternate spread at only minus 250, which is wild to me. Rams money line at minus 176 and Bucks money line at minus 198. That gives you a total payout at plus 719, and you can even go in there and change that Texans to cover the spread. We're all here for it. And Mary's in the other room, and she would like me to say fake news. So she made sure, she made sure that I said fake news.
Matt.
Dude,
he's whipping it up. This is my favorite. Yeah, this is like my favorite.
Why can't I take Jahmyr Gibbs to score a touchdown and get like 1,000 yards to Montgomery out of this?
Dude, oh my God. If I looked in our playoffs just to be sure, so happy that Jahmyr Gibbs is not on a playoff team. It's fantastic. Also, me and Ryan are battling it out this week in our fantasy football playoffs, if anyone was wondering.
Championship.
All three of us made it to the next round. Hey, round of applause for the boys. Oh, yeah.
Ball numbers.
The Final Four.
I would hope so. I knew my team had it in them. They just
needed one more leg.
I knew my team had it in them. They just needed a push, and this was the push that was needed. Because if this was last week and we played against each other, Ryan, you would have lost. So you better hope that your team steps it up a little bit.
All right, stop talking in my parlay.
I just want to say 60% of the teams in our leagues make the playoff, and
that was very rude of me. Sorry, but I have my
and I'm winning. We're pulling. Yeah.
All right.
SMU.
All right. Eagles 3.5. I'm eating the cheese. That's a rat line. They're by far better than the Commanders. Titans plus 3.5. Great. Game of the year: Jacksonville Jaguars and Raiders over 40.5. Come on. If you're not betting that over, what are you doing? And then Falcons alt total over 23.5, so scored 20
I like that.
plus with Michael Penix. That's plus 1,182. There you go.
Nice. All right. Cool. So, yeah, that'll do it for picks and payout. Let's go ahead and get in college corner. Ben, I'm going to let
Plus
you direct
Saints
this
money
one
line
because...
ROI.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. You want to win? you want to get some return on investment? Bet that money line. It's gonna be tied in half.
It's your safety pick. You know,
It's gonna
just
be
in
tied
case you
in
lose
half.
your money on any other parlay, throw your money on Saints.
Yeah,
Like
what are
rent.
their
Throw
odds?
rent this month on Saints money line. That's hitting.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, do it. Do
Plus
it.
700.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm done betting. I'm also done, really quickly, done betting on any of Matt's teams. Every single time I've bet on OKC, they've shit the bed. Excuse my language, but anyways,
Saints
What
money
are we
line.
starting with?
I just took Saints money line. So
yeah.
ROI.
So we'll start. We'll start with the Heisman stuff, because that was a topic that I was here for 10 seconds before my Wi-Fi decided to stop working last week. And then we'll get into some Blidnikov stuff, because me and Matt were going at it. Friendly debate, obviously, but we were going at it for that. The Heisman stuff. For those who were not watching, Travis Hunter won. Congratulations to Travis. Yay, Travis.
Yeah,
And like, I genuinely
deserve
don't
it.
want to take away from like what he did. And like, that was one thing that like annoyed me a little bit on Twitter, was everyone who really wanted wanted Ashton to win it, and he didn't. Everyone was just like turned around and just started like pooping on Travis, which is like, come on now. Like, just because your guy didn't win doesn't mean that Travis, the guy who did win, didn't do something very special and something that we haven't seen before in college. So if you didn't watch, again, Travis Hunter won. That being said, Travis Hunter, I don't know if you saw this graphic, Matt, we always take PFF grades with a grain of salt, but he had the lowest PFF grade of any of the Heisman winners in the last 10 years. But the main reason that I want to say I was against Travis was because when last time we saw a wide receiver do it was Devontae Smith, who put up arguably the best year a college wide receiver has ever done in the history of the sport. And the last time a DB won it was Charles, and he had 7 interceptions in a season, and Travis didn't sniff that either. But then you combine them both, and you see that he played both ways. He played like 98% of the snaps all season for him. So it really is hard to take away from everything he did. And that's like the number one thing. Even if you wanted Ashton to win, let's not take away from what Travis did this season, because he really did do something special. And he is going to be a fun prospect to talk about later on in kind of the draft cycle and prospect cycle. But Matt, do you have any words about the Heisman stuff? I know you have a long, like 500-page thesis capstone that you want to talk about.
Well, here's the thing. If you want me to go through all of it, I can. I just kind of typed right after the Heisman. I would, if Ryan wants to butt in before I just monologue, he can. But if not,
go for
then
it.
I'll go for it. But so I want to humanize Travis Hunter, because a lot of people is just these snaps, all snaps. Travis Hunter dominated college, high school football in Georgia, one predominant pipelines in the South. He was the number 1 player in 2022. He could have went to any team in the country, was committed to Florida State, and he went to an HBCU academy as the number 1 player. He followed Deion Sanders. 1 year later, they win the SWAC. And someone said Deion's not SWAC, and then he left, and he went to the Buffaloes. He went to Colorado, a 1-11 program in the Power 5, widely regarded as the worst Power 5 program in the country. Travis Hunter then enters the transfer portal. Where did he go? He followed Deion Sanders. Everyone talks about the portal, and everyone looks down on college football and how there's no loyalty anymore. And, TJ Finley can go in the transfer portal. He committed to his 5th team in 6 years this week. Travis Hunter was loyal to Deion Sanders, and I want that to be appreciated. He did something that we have never seen before. You can compare it to Charles Woodson. it wasn't comparable. Charles Woodson had 17 touches compared to his 90. It was miles ahead of what Woodson did in 1997. He won the sport's most outstanding receiver, the Biletnikoff. He won the Ben Narek, the nation's Defensive Player of the Year award. And he won the Heisman Trophy doing it his own way, going to Jackson State, then going to Colorado. Ashton Jeanty had a phenomenal season and is a phenomenal player. I don't want to sound like I feel like last week I kind of leaned into the bit going against Ben and his Ashton Jeanty pick. There was no winning because there could only be one winner. We had two deserving choices for the Heisman. It's the closest race since 2009. It's just, overall, I'm going to remember Travis Hunter as the guy who played both ways, did something that was unseen before. It's what you talked about, in high school. There was a guy who played both ways. He did it at the college level, and he's likely going to do it at the NFL level. It's just one-of-a-kind athlete stuff, and he was going to get rewarded for it. Ashton Jeanty, I will remember him for here's the quote. He will be remembered for running through every defender that came in his sightline and carrying and being the focal point and leading a G5 Mountain West football team to not just a playoff berth, not just a bye, not just a Mountain West championship, but a G5 team to be ranked in the top 10 of the rankings since Cincinnati in 2021 when they were 13-0. Just enjoy college football. We don't have to debate this. You can say, I think my guy Jeanty should have won, while also recognizing that Travis Hunter did something absolutely spectacular. That's my only take. Both of them were very deserving of it. If you dropped Ashton Jeanty in 2009 with Mark Ingram, he would have won it. But not all Heismans are created equal. So it is what it is. But that's my only take. I think we had two phenomenal finalists. Just be happy it wasn't Dylan Gabriel, the quarterback on the 13-0 team that it feels like it always is. Just be happy about that.
Yeah.
But that's
I like that take. Yeah. No, see, I like that. That's I'm glad that we can agree on that, and hopefully the majority of college football fans can agree on that. And for context, and again, we'll dig deeper into it when the draft cycle kind of rolls around. But if you guys are wondering how special Travis is, I think I speak for the both of us. Travis is the number 2 prospect at 2 positions in this class. He's the number 2 corner and the number 2 wide receiver. And the fact that you can say that about him it's mind-boggling. It is absolutely. It really is. So, but yeah, I am happy that it just didn't go to the quarterback that went undefeated like it normally did. So,
and would it feel differently? Would it feel differently if his Kansas game, his 8 touches, 100 yards, 3 touchdowns, or whatever it was against Kansas, and they won that game and made the Big 12 championship? Would it feel different? Would people feel differently? I don't know.
Yes.
But it's Colorado has won 9+ games 4 times since 2000. He transformed a program. Travis Hunter was one of the staples that transformed a program, and that should be rewarded with the Heisman Trophy to me, in my opinion. And your opinion can be different, and that's the beauty, is that we can go against each other, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, again, that's the beauty of it all. And then the other topic that me and Matt disagreed on was the Biletnikoff. I thought it was Nick Nash, and I thought Nick Nash should have won it. We have only seen a Triple Crown winner 3 times in college football. For those who don't know, it's receptions, yards, and touchdowns. Ended up going to Travis, but Matt did some digging and he found the loophole. When you go to the position by position awards, it's the best defensive tackle, the best linebacker, the best offensive line, so on and so forth. And then what was it for the Biletnikoff?
Most outstanding receiver.
Yeah. So I think that's a little bit as to where that line. I think that's kind of the loophole, in my opinion, but that's besides the point. And the other thing I'm going to kind of off script the both of you guys you guys didn't expect, and I don't want to spend too much time because frankly, this could be an entire episode. But man, the college football transfer portal, this is wild. This is like the most. It is absurd. It's like over like 1,000 recruits are in the transfer portal right now, and
I'm brand new to this, and I've been trolled like 4 times on Twitter by fake accounts. Like, this needs to stop, dude. I'm trying to learn here, and people are ruining it for me. I'm like, dude, no way. I know this name. Like, guys, this is crazy. He's switching teams, and they're like, haha, you're stupid.
That's
like,
how it was with Caleb Downs last year. I had a double.
Yeah. That one was weird, but it's. I think the transfer portal as an entity is probably good for college football because it gives the players who would not have played otherwise a chance to play. But it is getting out of hand. And as to the point that Matt talked about, Travis Hunter, it's causing like no loyalty at this point. Players are just going and going and going. And
if you don't play, you don't stay.
Yeah, it's absurd to me. And like I saw a picture and it was the Bear Alexander stuff, which that's a whole nother topic. And I don't want to dig into him as a player. But I thought it was funny because he posted a picture of him visiting Penn State in a Penn State uniform, flexing, but he had the Georgia logo on his bicep, and his profile picture was USC, which is just like, that's the antithesis of the transfer portal. Like, it's I don't know, the transfer portal is wild, and I think I might be okay with going back to the rules of you have to sit out a year unless you have a proven reason to actually transfer. But that's besides the point. And a lot of that has to do with NIL money, the Ewers thing. Let's talk about that for a second. What is that? There's reports that are coming out that like Ewers has an offer from a Big Ten team for like $10 million. Which is like absurd, and that has a lot to do with the transfer portal as well. What are your thoughts on that, Matt?
I follow a lot of Texas people, and every time they're asked this question, they just get annoyed because it's not true. It's a not true story, and maybe there is an offer, but he's not considering it at this moment.
Yeah,
like anything can change. But speaking of the portal, I kind of want to talk about the portal just for a quick minute. This was the big one. Not because of the player, but because of the design of the portal. Bo Pribula, the backup quarterback at Penn State, is transferring out. Penn State is in the college football playoff. He is leaving the program. He will not be their backup. And if you've watched college football this year, Penn State played Wisconsin on a late night game, and Bo Pribula had to come in the game and win the football game for Penn State. They now don't have that. He provides an element that Drew Aller doesn't with his speed and just rushing ability at quarterback. They don't have that anymore. James Franklin and himself were very vocal about it. They did not want to make the move, but because of the calendar, because of when the transfer portal hits, I mentioned this a few episodes ago, it opened the 9th, it closes the 28th, and then college football playoff teams, it's like a different, weird, like 3 days or something. But like my whole thing with the calendar is everyone gets so uptight with the calendar. With the 12-team playoff, I don't know how you scheme around the calendar now because they are student athletes. They are not athletes who happen to be students. And we all know semesters run until the end of December and start the beginning of January. So it's not like these guys could just push off the portal for another month and have no schooling while they're trying to find their next football team. It's just not how it works. And everyone thinks one day it's going to, they're going to become athletes first because it's become a global brand. Well, destroying that integrity of it and creating this whole other, element to it. Like, there's only 250 draft picks a year. There's 1,000 kids in the portal you mentioned. Over 1,000, I bet. So it's not about going pro and going to the next national brand, the NFL. It's about playing football. And this is the time to do it. And I don't know the switch. My only switch could be if they get rid of non-conference games, which is ridiculous. We all would say that out loud, and that is ridiculous. But it eliminates a month of the season. It's less games. People would not want that. So it's its own little facet that I don't know how you fix it. Someone needs to step up and put their foot down and say, here's how we fix it. We will fix it. But I don't see that coming anytime soon because there's 100 teams in the portal and only 12 that are competing for a championship. And it is what it is. John Mateer from Wazoo, he hit the portal. He instantly became the number one player according to 24/7. He followed his offensive coordinator to Oklahoma. Guys I talked about last week, Miller Moss committed to Louisville. Caden Salter committed to Colorado. C.J. Daniels committed to Miami. Micah Hudson committed to A&M. Malik Murphy to Kentucky. And Jackson Arnold to Auburn. USC. How about USC? USC has lost a ton of talent in the portal. 5 of the top 50, according to 24/7, are from USC. Zachariah Branch just hit it. Deuce Robinson, their 2 receivers. Those are both top 5 players ranked in the portal currently. So USC in their 3rd year of Lincoln Riley, they started out super strong, made the Pac-12 championship, lost with Caleb Williams. Last year they underperformed with Caleb Williams, only winning 7 games. And now this year they are scraping to 500, and Miller Moss left because they wanted to evaluate Jaden Maeva. Whatever. It's going downhill for USC. They're not going to hit the Pete Carroll heights as they were hoping with Lincoln Riley. And then last, LSU. This was expected. I think I mentioned this. LSU is spending in the portal as a result to losing Underwood. Bryce Underwood, 2025, number 1 recruit quarterback. Michigan, Dave Portnoy. They swung college football. They swung commitment with how much money they gave Underwood. Barry and Brown from Kentucky, Nick Anderson from Oklahoma, and Michael Van Buren are the main guys who joined LSU, and then they got a 4-star edge from Florida, 4-star corner from Virginia Tech, and then a 4-star tackle from Florida. But that's all my portal news. That is really significant to me that I wanted to be significant to the podcast. But if there's any other names.
I'm excited.
I'll say this.
Segment, though.
Casey Concepcion, NC State, Wolfpack still in the portal. Wonder if he goes to Colorado. That's been a big talking point.
I am upset with Dion because now he's taken 2 of my IU players. IU was in on Salters, and we didn't get him because he went to Colorado. And IU was in on Juju Lewis, and we didn't get him because he went to Colorado.
That's
so
tough.
I'm sick of Dion for that. Really, the only player I'm interested now or really want in the portal and interested to see where he goes is Eric Rivers, the FIU kid.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dog. Wherever he ends up going is going to be. Wait, did he go to Georgia Tech? What? He committed to Georgia Tech 2 hours ago.
Whoa!
What?
Blockbuster.
Whoa!
Crazy.
Yeah, Eric Rivers is a dog.
Speaking
Really
of
quickly,
Georgia Tech,
we'll move on to the last
Eric's
segment
singing
here.
to the portal.
For those who are interested, we were way off the mark when we said over 1,000. Currently in the transfer portal, and like Matt said, there's 10 more days left on this too for players to enter. There are currently 3,311 players in the transfer portal this year. There was 1,500 last year, so they doubled it.
It's ridiculous.
Going into this year from last year, which is wild.
And this is
Oh, I think we lost him. Oh, it's not me, right?
I was scared. Yeah, no, you're good. I was scared because I thought I was starting to lag out, but I wasn't. Matt, I think we lost you. There we go.
But yeah, I don't know what point you got, but last year Washington became open season because DeBoer took the Alabama job. Alabama became open season because Nick Saban left. So this is with this year, not major programs becoming open season. What was the biggest job? UNC. And it was Bill Belichick. So he didn't even leave from another team to take that job. So his roster wasn't, up in smoke. So it's wild. It's a change to college football that we are all getting the grasp on. And listen, it's the same way I talked about Bill Belichick last week. These are 18-year-old kids who just want to play, And frankly, using the phrase "scared to compete" is a harsh set of words to say, but it feels that way to me because
it does. Yeah.
And the game is going so far downward that the greatest coach we've ever seen in college football said, "I have to get out of this now." You think Nick Saban could still be winning national championships now? Absolutely. But couldn't keep up with it. Game is too fast. So it is what it is.
Yep. Moving on to the last segment. I really want to, I don't know, we'll discuss it, but if we could do Weddle, because I don't think we've done Weddle with the three of us, but besides the point, moving on to at least.
We got to get through this one, yeah.
Yes, but moving on to the last segment here in College Corner. Bracket challenge. We all kind of whipped together our brackets for the college football playoffs, and I know me and Ryan are in agreement on this. I think whoever comes out of the top portion of that bracket is winning it all.
I think. Hey,
I'll leave it at
also, I don't want to show my bracket because ESPN has basically it'll spoil it all if I like share it to everybody. So I want us.
I will show my bracket.
I want
to
go
start,
game by game.
I'll show my bracket to start, so that way everybody is aware of how it looks. It's okay. I'm okay with spoiling my picks, but that way everyone knows what the matchups are, and I'll leave mine up as we talk about it. We'll just distinguish whose bracket we're actually referring to, but we will. We'll start with mine. And that first game is actually
hold on
on
a minute.
Friday.
No. Don't do it.
Oh,
stop sharing.
It's already up. Brother,
okay. Yeah. I was gonna wait. Hold on. Here, hold on. I got this. I'm gonna show this really quick with everybody. It's an empty bracket, and I'll fill it out as we go on with everybody's.
That's what I'm
that
doing.
Way people can
side.
see.
I didn't make one yet.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Let's start with the lower half where everybody, just because this part is like the most frustrating, for the most part. So, I kind of want to be complicated with it. I get it, but anyways, yeah.
Since we have seen my lower part of my bracket, so I'll start.
Yeah.
So, for clarification, obviously Boise State and Georgia are the two teams that get the bye here, as Ryan is showing. In that first matchup, all the way down there at the bottom, is that IU Notre Dame.
The kickoff game.
What kind of Hoosier fan would I be if I didn't pick IU? Right? Like I'm picking IU to win that, of course. Like how could I not? And again, I really think the top portion of the bracket, whoever comes out of that wins it all. But IU Notre Dame, I think IU wins that. SMU versus Penn State. I already kind of threw my shade at SMU, and I kind of have to back it up. I wish this was the night game, to be frank, because I would have loved to see the whiteout. I know they're still planning on doing the whiteout, but a different animal when it's at
Alabama,
night.
Do you think it's the night game?
For sure, yeah.
Oh,
this is Alabama.
Sure.
This is the night game. Yeah. It would have been great to see it, but we're having Penn State win this game. So no shocker there. We'll jump back down to the IU Georgia game, and I'll make the clarification why in a minute as to why I picked IU to win. So I'm going to have IU to win. I don't know if IU actually stands a chance. It really comes down to Carson Beck and what that offense looks like. I don't think Carson Beck is going to play, by the way. I think they're just trying to hold out like as long as they can before they can say he's not playing, just to like have like the what if factor. But I think Carson Beck is probably out for the year, and I think it's a Purdy situation with his UCL. So I'm going to have IU win that game. Jumping up to Penn State Boise, I'm having Penn State win this game. It could have been anyone. Honestly, probably could have been SMU, and I still probably would have picked SMU to win. I love Boise, but no pun intended, they're a one-trick pony. So I'm gonna pick Penn State. So that leaves that semifinal down between Penn State and Indiana. And I originally had this as Penn State and Georgia. The reason I switched is because I didn't want to pick between Penn State and Georgia because I didn't think either team could actually win that game. Either team, like, obviously one would have won, but it just, like, I didn't feel confident either way. So that's why I kind of made it backwards and had IU win just because I didn't want to pick between Penn State and Georgia. But sadly, I do think this is where IU gets knocked off. In the shocker of the century, Penn State's going to the college football championship, which is wild. Good on you, James Franklin. Moving up to the top side of the bracket, and again, I've already kind of spoiled based off of what I said before, but the bye, as you guys can see, is Arizona State and Oregon. It's going to be Clemson versus Texas. I think we're all going to be in agreement on Texas. I think Texas is going to win. I think Texas is going to win. I'm wondering what they're going to do with the Arch versus Ewers stuff, and we'll see how that plays out throughout the rest of the college football playoffs. But I think Texas is going to win. Moving on to the Tennessee-OSU game, just because I can, I'm picking Tennessee. Not because I believe Tennessee will actually win, just because I have the spite, as everyone knows. So I'm going to have Tennessee win this one. And we'll stick here, Tennessee versus Oregon. There's no way Tennessee beats Oregon. I honestly think it would be a closer game if it was OSU versus Oregon. Oregon wins this game by a country mile, I think. Jumping up to Texas versus Arizona State, it kind of the same thing with Boise. This is, again, we've talked about it with the 12-team playoffs, and this might be kind of the downfall of it, but I think Texas wins this one, leaving that semifinal matchup in the Cotton Bowl between Texas and Oregon. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm going to pick Oregon. I just don't have confidence in Ewers and what's going to happen in that situation.
You're just a Big Ten guy.
I had Tennessee beat OSU.
3 out of 4 of the finalists are Big Ten teams.
I didn't even mean to do that. That's actually kind of funny. But
he's got to see that Big Ten championship rematch so bad.
Yeah, right. And then it's going to be the Big Ten championship rematch, and it's going to be the same thing. Oregon's going to win it all. I think the final points between all of the games scored is going to be 604. I had my reasoning. I don't want to go through all the math. But honestly, a small part of me hopes that Tennessee wins so we can have the battle of the UTs, and we can just say, like, the winner of this game claims UT. And I'm here for that. So
maybe we'll have that game.
Yes. So that's my prediction.
Let me reload this without spoiling mine.
So hopefully now that I broke everything down, it can go a little bit faster with the other two. But we'll see.
All right. So, Matt, do you want to go ahead and make yours? And then I'll finish this off.
Yeah, I just want to talk about the games. Can we just talk about the first round games? Just for a little bit.
Yeah, we can talk about the first round games.
Just breaking them down because I feel like we haven't talked about them. Tennessee and Ohio State. Here's a fun stat: first ever road game for Tennessee against the Big Ten. It's never happened before, so it's their first ever game. Ryan Day, are we at a must-win point with Ryan Day?
Yes.
OSU AD came out and said that he's keeping his job no matter what.
Ohio State fan, you're saying yes, it is.
What?
The AD said that he's keeping his job no matter what, which is kind of funny. Even if they lose in the first round, there's no way you can justify that, but the AD said so we'll see if he's a man of his word.
And then lastly, is Nico Iamaleava the most talented quarterback in the field? Just a little sprinkle. I don't know, but is he? And then we get into I have Ohio State winning this game, so we'll go with Ohio State. Next, Indiana Notre Dame, in-state playoff game. This is what we live for. Indiana's not going to be deterred by the weather. They play in it. They played in snow in the last game against Purdue, but Purdue, big step up to Notre Dame. Cignetti, does he have a prove-it game in him? 11-1, didn't beat anyone in the top 25. Notre Dame is the 5th-ranked team in the entire college football. Does he have the prove-it game in him? And can Notre Dame run the ball the way they have this season with Riley Leonard and Jeremiah Love? Ohio State ran for 115 yards, so they didn't really slam that mark. They just won with talent on the outside, where Notre Dame is going to have to win in a different way. I have Notre Dame winning in a slaughter. I'm sorry, Ben, but it's just got to be what it is. SMU, Penn State. SMU is playing in 20-degree weather in State College, even at 12 o'clock. The average, this is such a fun stat, the average temperature this season for kickoff at games for SMU was 72 degrees. A whole 50 degrees drop. SMU,
a Dolphins-Chiefs situation.
SMU has played with a lead most of the season. They're 9-point dogs on the road. Does that translate to chasing points? Does it translate to when it's down to the wire? Can they win the game? They've had 2 close games, 2 one-score games this season, and they lost both of them. One at the buzzer on one of the greatest kicks I've ever seen from the true freshman kicker, and losing to BYU in a game no one really thought about, but ended up being really important. And then Penn State, missing their backup quarterback. Does Penn State's Big Ten title game, does their offensive explosion continue? I don't know. We'll see, but I'm taking Penn State pretty easily in this one. And then lastly, Clemson, Texas, the one I'm most nervous about because of my hat. Clemson, 13 road games in their history against top 5 opponents. They are 0-13. Quinn Ewers, Kate Klubnik, they are playing a rematch of the 2021 state title game. Klubnik came out on top. And this is in Austin, too, so it's just fun. It's just fun for Texas. Can Clemson create explosives against the best team in the country at eliminating explosives? When Clemson doesn't create explosives, they get whopped by, like, Georgia and things like that. And so just something to talk about. And then as a fan, Texas fan, what is the dose of Arch Manning? The run game has been bipolar at times this year and a net negative against teams as talented as Georgia. Clemson has the talent on the interior to slow them down. If there's a 3-and-out with Quinn Ewers, man, I'm going to lose my mind. To start the game, I should say. But I'm taking Texas. They're the biggest favorites of the weekend. They should be. They're the most talented team in the field. I've said it. I believe it. So I'm taking Texas. What does that leave me? I took all the favorites, didn't I? I just took chalk.
Texas, Arizona State, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Boise State, and then Notre Dame, Georgia.
All right. I'll start at the top. I'll just go round by round, different from the way Ben did it. Texas is going to kill Arizona State. It is what it is. Kenny Dillingham, great season, overachieved, but you're running into a more talented team, and this is the issue with the format, as I said. You're running into more talent, even though they have to play an extra game, which, in my opinion, might be a good thing, because then you get to get the boys humming. If you lose a massive injury, then it sucks, but yeah, I'm taking Texas. Ohio State, Oregon. These two teams played in Autzen, and Will Howard slid too late. And if he didn't slide too late, then Ohio State would be kicking a field goal for what would probably be playing in the Big Ten Championship in a rematch of this game. But he did not slide early. They don't take a kick, and they lose to Michigan, so they never played in this game. They never get their rematch. They get it now. I'm taking Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. I'm taking it. I don't know why. Just am. It's just... They can score with Oregon. I don't know if Oregon on the bye. I don't know if the bye is a good thing. I'll just say that. Nobody's hurt. It's not like a health thing. You just get an extra week to prepare, but at the same time, like, you're getting the same amount of time to prepare as the other team. It's just like the NFL. And these two teams are very comparable in talent level. Then Penn State, Boise State. Penn State's going to run away. I'm going chalk with the talent, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But they're like you said, one-trick pony. They're Ashton Genty, and then everything else. I don't know how this team moves the ball through the air if they don't have Ashton Genty, because Penn State's corners are legit dudes in man coverage. They're more talented. Notre Dame, Georgia, this is the one I have the hardest time about, because I think Notre Dame can throw some wrinkles in that run game and get Georgia off balance. But again, Georgia playing with a backup quarterback. Where have I seen this before? Oh, yes, Stetson Bennett won back-to-back national titles. I'm going to take Georgia. I'm not going to bet against Kirby Smart. So, pretty chalk through. This is where, does it continue to be chalk? Texas, Ohio State. I'm taking Texas. Come on. Did you think I was not going to take Texas? Quinn Ewers, the revenge game. He can make a revenge game in his mind. I think Texas is going to the national championship, and they're going to play Georgia for the third time this season. In Atlanta, Georgia, where the SEC championship was played. And Texas is going to win. Texas is going to become national champions, avenging their only 2 losses of the season, defeating the monster at the end of the road that they have. The only team they lost to this season is the Georgia Bulldogs, and all of the wrongs can be righted in one game. This is the national championship I am dreaming about, I am needing in my life, injected into my veins. Texas, hook 'em by 50.
All right.
Love it.
My turn. My turn. That's when I laugh maniacally. All right, let's get it done. Let's go. I don't think yeah, it didn't spoil my picks. All right. We're going to kind of breeze through this one so we can try and play well. So, starting at the bottom, just like Ben, just because being different. IU Notre Dame. In-state battle. I'm so excited for this one. And I'm off on Friday. Super excited to watch this one. I don't think I have anything going on. So, we'll be there.
I will not be watching. I will not be watching.
I will be seated. Fake fan.
Fake fan? That's what I'm saying.
Fake fan.
For a good reason. You both know the good reason as to why I'm not watching the game.
Because you don't want to see Indiana get crushed by Notre Dame. Totally understand. Notre Dame taking that one for sure. SMU, Penn State, for the same reasons Matt took them, taking Penn State. I will take Ohio State to beat Tennessee by 2 scores. That's my bold take. Texas to beat Clemson as well. Yeah, I would. I also think it should be a fun matchup. Now starting at the bottom, Notre Dame, Georgia, like you said, backup quarterback. That one's
gross. I didn't want to pick this game. That's why I had IU.
This whole thing is so nasty. This whole second half is just disgusting. I'm taking Notre Dame. I switched up, Ben, since we last talked. I'm taking Notre Dame, and then I will take Penn State to beat Boise State as well.
You know how much fun this region would be if Clemson was in the SMU spot? Like, just thinking about it.
Yes.
Like, just drop that in there. That'd be, I don't know.
Texas is going to curb stomp Arizona State. Now, this is where we start having fun, right? So, boys are playing with a vengeance. I think that, losing to Michigan kind of stirred up a fire in them. I am also taking Ohio State over Oregon. Kick rocks. And, especially to you, Ben, that had my team losing in the first round. I am hurt. So, bottom half. Penn State against Notre Dame. Sorry, Notre Dame. You just never make it to the big game. You just never do it. And that's just not going to happen this time. Sorry. Penn State's making it to the national championship. Disgusting. Texas, Ohio State. Matt, this is going to be awesome. I mean, if this happens, we have to get together for this. Wings, something have to be had. Smiles, laughs, side bets have to be had as well.
I'll kill you if Texas doesn't win.
I'll say this though, because I didn't get a chance to I didn't get a chance to speak on this game. And this is not like a hate thing towards OSU like it normally is with me. Texas will smoke OSU if this is the game. I hate to say it. They're more physical than OSU and they're quicker than OSU. Texas, I think, would smoke OSU in this game.
I just don't know how to feel about that one. Just because, who am I if I just don't pick my guys?
We're gonna get copyrighted for that.
For Ohio State, they're gonna take it against Texas. I don't care what you say, Michigan fan. They're taking it. They're going to the national championship. And who would I be? Who am I taking? Who am I taking? I mean, I just don't know who in the world would ever pick against Brutus the Buckeye. This guy is going to be a national champion, and it doesn't matter. Ryan Day's keeping his job. Michigan's getting curb stomped next year, and if you aren't feeling thunderstruck now, just wait until January 20th when Ohio State becomes national champions. Let's go. Let's go.
I hope you can experience, either of you guys can experience the joy that I had last year winning that. Well, maybe one thing in my entire life when it comes to sports has topped that. And it's not even what you guys think it is. But, like, there's bar none to the excitement to that. Like, I was more pumped for that than when the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017. It'll get your blood pumping.
So, yeah, that's, I don't know. Should we play Weddle? I think.
Yes, please. Oh my gosh, please.
I think, yeah, I'm getting a little woozy. I don't know. Yeah.
It's time for America's favorite game, Weddle.
All right. So, Weddle. I haven't played this in God knows how long.
Too long.
God, I forgot to share my screen. Get a hold of yourself. All right. I need to get with that.
Do we reset from this day forward?
That's a fun take.
Touch anybody.
That's fair.
I don't know. What do you think, Ben? Should we reset it? Should I give you your kudos?
Yeah, tap me on my back. It was fun while it lasted with the two of us.
If there's no podcast, what is it? If there's no podcast next week, then this is the last one of the year, so we could start it next year.
Yeah, we'll start next year.
That's a way to start. Yeah.
Happy media.
This is just for the love of the game.
Yeah.
Matt, what do you think?
This is easy, right?
Easy mode, yeah. So we help each other out with this one, yeah.
I'll take Jordan Love.
All right.
Did nothing.
Yeah.
I think we'll just
a lot of help.
Make our way up there. Yeah, Ben, you got this.
Yeah,
one.
we can.
Number 9 or number 8?
Elevate our way up. Shorter guy, number 9 or number 8. You guys have any ideas? Matt didn't really give me anything.
Number 9 or number 8. That's not a quarterback.
And he's young. Let's do. I'm gonna do a division and position thing. Not
cool.
We'll say. Obviously, this cannot be who it is based off of age and number and all that stuff. But Isaiah Pacheco. All right. So he's a wide receiver.
Yeah. Okay. Wide receiver. Brian
really
Thomas.
Young. That's a good one.
Way taller than I thought.
So AFC receiver in the East.
So it's
or the North, who's young as hell. Roman Wilson. He's not even on there.
Tough. I'm thinking a Colts receiver. That's my hint to you. Alec Pierce?
What number's Josh? No, Alex Pierce is too tall.
14. He's number 14.
Okay.
Could it be Josh Downs, though?
He's number 1. Did the Titans take a receiver? No. Just running through the
Talking
names.
it's like Traylon Burks or something like that.
Well, it couldn't even be.
No, it's not 20. No, he's not 22.
Well, it couldn't even
Yeah.
be that because of the South. So it has to be.
Oh, is
again,
it Mechie?
Mechie. It can't be because South. AFC South, yeah, like Ben said.
Yeah. I
So
was
you're
thinking
talking.
the East. It's got to be the East. It's got to be the
Took
East.
Is it Keon Coleman?
Could be. Keon's what 6'2", so it could be.
Yeah.
The age fits too because he was a little bit older as a rookie.
Oh,
Not it.
Okay.
No, too tall.
6'4".
So Dolphins,
But yeah.
Patriots.
Oh,
And who's
Javon
that?
Baker.
Is it Javon Baker? That'd be wild for it to be. Oh,
Yeah.
It is a Patriot though. And
What?
is, I would guess 6 foot, maybe 5'11", maybe. I don't know.
I feel like
guys,
Jalen
we're looking
Polk's
really
not
dumb
one.
here in the segment that we're supposed to be good at.
Does Jalen Polk not wear one? Am I just?
I thought Pollock
my
wore one
guy.
as well.
Should we use? Should we
Who's
go
real
Yeah,
Polk?
point?
it's
It's not. This
It's
guy
not
doesn't
him.
exist. This guy
Who did
doesn't
the
exist.
Patriots pick up? 6 out of
Could-
8 guesses.
Yeah, he's a young guy.
Demario Douglas.
That's a good one. I didn't know he was 22.
It's not it.
What?
He was
Guys.
only 24.
Dude,
Oh, is it Butte? Is it Butte? Kayshawn?
Oh my God, what a pull!
it has to be.
Yeah.
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 Do we even bother with hard mode? I mean, oh my God. Okay.
The fact
many
that was
receivers-
easy is actually kind of
receivers?
wild, though.
How many receivers who are 22 are on the Patriots?
Okay.
Trevon
So
Dexter
then are we
is
just
not
going
the-
down the list, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Ben.
We'll say Trent McDuffie.
Okay.
It's a good one. So he's
Yeah.
defense in the AFC.
Is that a D line or DB?
He's 25-year-old linebacker in the AFC. This is where it's like, it's boring for podcasts because I just sit here and ponder.
I have an idea. I have an idea.
25-year-old Drew Sanders. No.
All right.
I think I know
He's
who it
also
is.
in the West. He was also in the West.
Let's see. trying to think.
I
He's 6'5".
think I know who it is.
And
You
he's
have no idea who it
25.
is.
So we're talking
Are you ready for the poll when I'm right?
linebackers in the West.
There's no way.
Not in the West. East. Oh my God.
Just you wait.
I have a name.
I'm wondering if we have the same name.
North.
Is your guy in the South, Matt?
No.
Jeez. Oh my
Henry
God.
Toho.
It's a good one.
Oh!
Oh, it eliminates my guy. I had Quincy Williams.
Oh, my knee. Oh,
who's
oh.
Oh.
Don't let it get back to me.
Who's the dude who makes all the tackles in Indy?
Hey, he was at the
Oh,
combine. That's
man.
who I'm thinking of. He was at the combine.
A lot of people are at the
man.
combine though.
I know,
Zaire
but
Franklin.
like,
That's who it is. Not EJ Speed. I know who you're thinking of.
Zaire Franklin, is that what he said?
Yep. Oh.
oh,
He's not
I
a
thought
Colt.
it was EJ Speed. I thought
He's
it
not
was
a
EJ
Colt.
Speed.
So it's
Jeez.
I thought it was EJ
Yeah.
Speed.
He was supposed to be on the podcast, by the way, for those of you that want to
Titans.
know.
so Titans or Jags. 25.
That's disgusting.
Linebacker.
There's no way that he's not 25.
Oh, you picked the wrong Josh Allen too, you little dickhead.
Yeah, you got to pick Josh Hines.
You had to do Allen Hines. Oh,
How old
you know
is he?
what? Okay, so since there's 10 guesses and there's only 9 of us, you can put Josh Allen Hines in. Put Josh Allen Hines in. Here, give me 1 second.
He was a Jag.
Give me 1 second. Hold on.
I mean,
Is it Francis Alo? Oh no, Devin Lloyd. It's Devin Lloyd.
it is not Devin.
I swear to God, if it's Francis,
It is. It is between me and Matt. Ben is eliminated.
No, is this not the last guess?
Dude,
This is
Toyota
the-
Leacon is too old.
Maybe it is the last guess.
Yeah, that's why I said you can put in Josh Allen Hines if you want to.
All
That way
right,
no one gets a
all
second
right.
guess.
Gotcha.
I'll forfeit my pick if it's a Leacon, but I don't think it is. I'm going. Is he still a Jag, dude? I don't think he
Dude.
is.
Rip it though.
Chad Muma.
Chad Moon was a Jag. Yeah.
We did
No.
get it. Ventrell Miller.
Ventrell
I
Miller.
was never
He's
gonna
still
get
in the
that.
league.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was still in the league.
It's a good thing we're not counting points because nobody got one anyway. All right.
Ooh.
Turns out we suck at this and we need to find a new game before the new year. All right. There's a reason why we
Special
don't play
teams
well
linebackers
anymore,
on the
folks.
Jags. My
Special teams,
my
special plays,
kryptonite.
special players. Guys, any closing comments?
No, fun week. Had big news next time we're on, which will be fun. But it'll be a fun week of college football, and go Eagles. And we'll see you guys in the new year.
Yeah. Have a Merry Christmas, a freaking Happy New Year. Wait a minute. We
Merry
don't have-
Christmas.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, all right.
We will be more.
Stay
active on the
tuned
TikTok.
for stay tuned for like the alternative for TikTok. So
I was gonna say, yeah, I put out a tweet today. We're gonna figure out something. We do have an Instagram page, so go and follow us there. We are gonna try to put out content there, but
Okay, I really gotta go.
I don't know. So thanks, government. All right. Anyways, we want to say thank you to Spotify for Podcasters, Regional Radio Sports Network, and Uppercuts Grooming for helping us grow as a podcast. Thank you to everybody that stuck around. In this corner, we can see you. So appreciate you. See you guys next year.